Film school is super expensive in 2026, but is it worth it? Hey, filmmakers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian Fox, and if you don't know who I am, because it's only my second video, I'm an aspiring filmmaker with the goal of using this channel to share what I learned along my filmmaking journey. Today, I want to talk about film school and whether or not it's worth it in 2026. The short answer is no, definitely not. The long answer, though, is still no, unless you fit into a very specific situation, which I think makes film school the perfect option. But before we get too far into this conversation, let me just say that this is based on my own experiences, so don't just take my opinion for it. Do some research, talk to others, because ultimately what works for me may not work for you. With that out of the way, let's talk about some of the positives based on my own experience in Toronto Film School's online video production program before we get into the super obvious and super glaring negatives: forced time management and deadlines. The first main positive is that film school programs are generally more focused with very specific lectures, assignments, and more importantly, deadlines. But with film school, I found this to be a huge advantage because it forced me to keep up with lectures and to get assignments done on time. I hate to admit this publicly, but if I don't have any kind of deadlines, then my time management skills are just horrible. Like, for example, I tried some online programs like Think Media's Video Ranking Academy, and while it was great, had a lot of great content, and it was great that I could just do it at my own pace, I found that because it didn't have any specific deadlines, I would just keep putting it off because I get busy with things like my 9 to 5, and then I just wouldn't end up doing it, and then I'd feel bad about not doing it, and then I just wouldn't go back to it. So with film school and having very focused deadlines and assignments and things I had to do on a day-to-day basis, I was a lot more successful. Granted, this is not necessarily a benefit for everyone, but for me, this was a huge plus. Huge variety of courses. The second positive for me with film school is that film school gives you a broad understanding of the different skills and the different fields within filmmaking because of the huge variety of courses. This obviously varies from program to program and from school to school, but the program that I was in forced me to do a little bit of everything. I had to write scripts, I had to film and produce a mini documentary, I had to color grade, I had to edit, I had to create a promotional website, I had to put a portfolio together, I had to pitch a mini TV series complete with a pitch deck, and I even had to create an operating budget. But most importantly, I had to create a short narrative film from scratch. By having to complete these different assignments, I got a taste of the different jobs that are out there and the different areas that I want to focus on within the larger world of filmmaking. Access to pro-level equipment. Perhaps the most important positive of being in film school is having access to top-level equipment. And I'm talking top-of-the-line cinema cameras. I'm talking your FX3s, your FX6, your FX10s, all the FXs that you could ever want right there for you to use. Obviously, it's super fun being able to use such high-quality equipment, but more importantly, by using the equipment in the program, you then get the skills on how to use that equipment in real life so that when you walk onto a film set or some other crazy video production situation that you're going to be in, you know exactly how to use what you're being told to use. Ironically, I didn't get to use any of Toronto Film School's equipment just because I was in the online program, which I totally understand. But man, I would have loved to use a real top-of-the-line cinema camera one day, but not today. Totally understand why, but it did bum me out just a little bit. Connections. The final positive of film school is that you can make some great connections. Now, this is either with students or with professors who have real industry experience. In my case, I connected with a student who I'm doing some work with, as well as a professor who has a lot of experience in the world of television. Now, of course, there are two big glaring negatives that we need to talk about. Price. The first negative is the price. Film school is expensive. My online part-time program was a little over $15,000, which is just nuts. Full-time programs that are in person are obviously even more expensive than that. For example, here in Ontario, full-time programs can be anywhere from $18,000 all the way to $66,000 depending on the program and whether you are a domestic student or international student. So film school is not something that you can just do on a whim and isn't necessarily even affordable for everyone. Time. The second major negative is the time commitment. My program was part-time, but it was 2 years. That meant that for 2 years, my weeknights and weekends were eaten up by coursework and assignments. So I'd wake up in the morning, go to work, come home, eat dinner, and then do schoolwork. I loved it, but it was a lot. Luckily, my wife, along with her family, was extremely supportive. And if you do it full-time, that's a year or more that your sole focus is on film school. That's a lot of time. With the pros and cons discussed of film school, let's jump back to the question, is film school worth it in 2026? As I said at the top of this video, I don't think it is unless you fit into a very specific situation. The situation being that you're a high school student about to go into college or university. If you love film and video production and you're trying to decide what to do after high school, seriously consider film school. It has all the benefits that I mentioned above, which will put you in a great position when you enter the industry, and it's the perfect time of your life to engage in a full-time program. I mean, even society says that when you finish high school, you should be going into a college program or a university program. So why not film school? You're young, you're probably not a parent, and you likely don't have the same set of responsibilities that you have when you're in your 30s or 40s. Of course, this is me making huge generalizations, so this actually might not even be in your situation. And I also totally get that not a lot of parents will be completely psyched about their kids going into something artsy-fartsy like filmmaking instead of a more what I would call adult job such as engineering or accounting. So if that's the situation, but if that's not you, then I wouldn't necessarily recommend film school, unfortunately. Instead, I would suggest looking into online film courses like Mark Bohn's Art of Documentary. These programs are a fraction of the cost and have a lot of the same benefits of film school. Just know that these types of programs are more focused and may not give you the same breadth and variety that a film school might give you. Just to put this out there though, if you're listening to all of this and the benefits of film school really are enticing you, and if you have the money for it, even if you're not necessarily a college student or finishing in Bible school, you're just someone like me who's working full time and has a family, but really feels the passion for film, then think about film school. It's not a bad option. I loved it. It was a great experience, and I really, really do not regret it at all. But what about you? Are you considering film school? Are you considering an online program? Or are you completely outraged by this whole topic? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what questions you have and what you want me to talk about in future videos. Until then, happy creating.